through storms, unshaken, unbowed. Through trials and verdicts, still standing proud. A titan in the tempest, against the raging crowd. He's got a vision for the future, gonna shout it loud. Changing the wind, it's coming fast. A new foundation built to last. Cryptocurrency's the key, make the big switch. Power to the people, time to teach the rich. Legal battles can't hold him, he's moving on. With plans so bold, from dusk till dawn. He's rewriting the rules, a new dawn's day. From the hands of the few to the people's way. Say goodbye to all chains, embrace the new. A financial revolution, fair and true. For the workers, the dreamers, side by side. In Trump's new era, let freedom rise. Changing the wind, it's coming fast. A new foundation built to last. Cryptocurrency's the key, make the big switch. Power to the people, time to teach the rich. He's a fighter, a leader with a plan to share. A world of justice, well spread fair. Forget the old guards, their time is done. Under the banner of Trump, we all have won. So here's to the future, bright and clear. With Trump at the helm, with nothing to fear. The chains will break, and we'll all see a new world for you, a new world for me. Changing the wind, it's coming fast. A new foundation built to last. Cryptocurrency's the key, make the big switch. Power to the people, time to teach the rich.
What is up, everyone? What is up? Hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful Trump Day. Rather than Hump Day, I think Trump Day is a better term for it. But thank you guys all so much for tuning in. And oh my, have I got a lot of hellos to go through today. But thank you so much to Kukla and Booger and those that are helping out. You're greatly appreciated as always. And what is up, Randy and Sir Laugh-A-Lot and Mile High Trish? It is definitely a lot of folks today to go through and do the hello for, but I hope everyone is excited, maybe a little bit hesitant to see what we're going to be showing today. It is definitely going to mess with your minds, and it's going to show you more about what is going on in terms of media and content out there nowadays. There's so much that's being portrayed as real that isn't real anymore. And so I think after today, people might have a little bit more of an understanding and be able to see, because I use myself as the example. You're going to hear in my voice things said that I have never said. And to anyone that's listening, it's going to sound completely indistinguishable from as if I was the one reading it or it was my thought, my belief. And you're also going to see that you've probably been watching a lot of content that's not actually a human being. I have some videos created that are going to be showing you what is possible with AI nowadays. It's pretty terrifying, but thank you guys all for tuning in. And let me get through all of the hellos before we jump in to the insanity today. What is up, Judy? And Yeah, Booger. I was throwing it all together. I was throwing it all together. But thank you so much for being here. What is up, Bear? Thank you as always from tuning in. I hope things are going great for you. And Scap. Thank you for tuning in. And Greg, I saw that later on you were jamming to the music when we first started. Thank you for being here. And Sassy. Yeah, y'all are too kind with the compliments. And David, thank you so much. Para mi manzana, I appreciate it very very much. Thank you so much for getting here with that one each day. And I noticed that you might need a little bit of Visine. Don't worry, don't worry. We're not going to make anyone turn their cameras on today, so you are just fine, David. You don't need the eye drops. What is up, Blue? Laurie Jean, anybody else a little anxious about what we are about to learn? I'm a little anxious to even put it out there. I'm a little anxious because I use myself as the example. And I'll explain that as we go forward. I'm not really worried about putting out myself as the example in this situation because anybody and everybody that's ever spoken on an electronic device is in the same boat as me, essentially. And so you're going to be quite amazed, I think, in regards to that one. What's up, Jorge? Hope that everything is going well in the great city of New York. Uh, I imagine that there are definitely a few political problems, but hopefully your day and everyone around you is having a wonderful time. And Broncos Freak says, I want to learn how to make a song for my husband of 32 years. Broncos, I was actually thinking about doing a very, very long stream where all I did was help people make songs for their family members and everyone else. And so if that's something that you're interested in and that people would enjoy, I would be happy to do it. It'd just be a day of me using the AI. And so the AI really is doing the work. The AI making songs, making videos, and making images for people. And so I would be happy to help out with that one. And I imagine at the end of watching that stream, you'd be able to go out and do it yourself as well. Oh, Laurie Jean, thank you for saying that one. I really do like that song. I think the AI really killed it that day. Did a great job. What's up, Lily Pad and Jay Hart? Dwayne Dyer, Zester, will this podcast leave us speechless? How many movies out there where there are no real actors? Do you think this would work with 3D? Just asking for a friend. Her name is Alice. Yeah. Yeah, you're going to see today just how easy it is to take a person's voice and to take a person's face and make it say or do whatever you want it to. The very idea of being able to watch something that is recorded and verify that it's real is gone. It's no longer reality. And so I imagine every politician that's ever been caught in a scandal of some kind is about to change their tune and start to say, well, it was all just AI. It's going to create a very, very weird world where we can't really verify if something is true or not. Right now, though, you are listening to me speak. It is absolutely me. I did not program the AI to go through and respond to hellos, but you're about to see me or about to hear me speak, and it won't be me. You'll be able to tell, I hope. Although one clip that I will show today is actually me speaking. And so that's one of the trivia questions for everyone throughout the stream today. At some point, you're going to hear a single recorded audio that is me. And I'm very, very curious when I start to play them if y'all can figure out which one is me, which one is real. What is up, Neil? Hope things are going great in Kakalaki. What is up, Felix the Cat and Just Relax and Jay Hard and Carolyn and Carolina Girl and Mary Jones and Deb Q. Thank you guys all so much for tuning in. And Neil, thank you so much for the super sticker. It is greatly appreciated. Thank you for supporting the channel, and I know that everyone will appreciate it because I would love to get a slightly higher quality camera for the stream, and so that is where those dollars will go. I greatly appreciate it. And yes, no, I think he will be because the original Mark Z may or may not be just a little bit curious about what this technology can do. He has been speaking online for quite a while. And that means anyone that has ever had a recorded phone conversation or anything of the like, they're going to be interested in learning about this one. Oh, Caroline, Valentino is currently off and sleeping somewhere. I'm betting he's on my bed. I'm betting he's on my bed while I am sitting here at the computer. That's what I would guess. And so before I jump into it, because it's just too much to keep up in terms of the chat rolling, I'd love to get everyone a personal hello, but want to make certain we jump right in to the interesting stuff. But before we get going, of course, everything on the podcast is for education and entertainment purposes alone and should not be viewed as financial advice. Please consult a professional financial advisor before making any major investment decisions. But yes, Savvy, the challenge for the day is to figure out what of the clips that we start to play are actually real, which ones are actually me. And so we are going to go ahead and jump into a little bit of that right off of the bat. And one thing that I would like everybody to pay attention to here first is we're going to play a video of a very nice young lady actually talking about the dark side of artificial intelligence. And so you're going to have a person pop up on screen in just a second. And I'd like everyone to just pay attention and watch. It's only going to be about 1 minute and 40 seconds. And let's see if you've seen videos like this when you've been looking around on social media, because I bet everyone here has. They've probably seen the shorts. They've probably seen them on TikTok or Facebook or Instagram or anywhere else. But here is our first little video, and I'd like everyone to pay attention and see what's weird.
Artificial intelligence has made incredible advancements, but with these advancements come serious dangers. One alarming threat is AI's ability to mimic our voices and avatars with astonishing accuracy. Imagine receiving a call from what sounds like a loved one, but it's actually a sophisticated AI mimicking their voice. This technology can be exploited by malicious individuals to deceive and manipulate. AI can also learn and adapt much faster than humans. This rapid learning capability means AI can quickly outsmart traditional security measures, leading to new forms of cyber attacks and identity theft. The more AI learns, the better it becomes at mimicking human behavior, making it harder to distinguish between real and fake interactions. The potential for misuse is vast. AI can create realistic fake videos, spread false information, and even generate convincing social media profiles. These tools can be used to influence public opinion, create chaos, and destabilize societies. The scariest part? This technology is accessible to anyone with the right resources, making it easier for bad actors to use AI for harmful purposes. It's crucial to stay informed and vigilant about the capabilities and risks of AI. Understanding these dangers is the first step in protecting ourselves and our society from the potentially devastating impacts of malicious AI use.
And so everything in that video, the lady, she is AI. The voice is an AI voice, and that is the beta. That is actually the first try at creating a artificial avatar capable of saying or doing anything that you tell it to do. And it is. I noticed that a lot of people say, yeah, very stiff, eye blinking, looks fake. You know, she is not perfect. She is the first version of it. And she is awfully darn close to looking very, very real. And you've probably seen videos like this. I have no doubt that you have watched videos on YouTube Shorts, Instagram, TikTok, anything of the like, that had a very, very similar layout and design to that one from her. They were all created entirely by an artificial intelligence. No part of that was real. And she did not consent to saying any of the things that were expressed inside of it. Now, she probably did actually sign some type of a release form at some point in terms of the process. But when it comes down to it, whatever they say is whatever you tell them to say is what is real. And there's not really any way to get around it. And so here we go with another one. And so I do want everyone to keep in mind that any of the things when I play these different clips are not me saying them. They are the AI saying them, or they are me typing to the AI and then it repeating that one. And so here is a very, very short one that I think you're going to recognize who's talking.
Artificial intelligence will accelerate this process and is leading us towards a world where truth will become an abstract idea. We live in a world where reality has been stolen by the media and those in power. Artificial intelligence will accelerate this process and is leading us towards a world where truth will become an abstract idea. We live in a world where reality has been stolen by the media and those in power.
That automated voice probably sounds awfully familiar, though. Awfully familiar. That is my voice. That is my voice. It is speaking for me. And here's one that will really throw everyone off. And yes, keep in mind, guys, this is not me speaking, and I will play it twice so that everyone can hear because it's a short clip.
I, Zester, think that everyone should vote for Joe Biden because he is awesome and the best president ever. I, Zester, think that everyone should vote for Joe Biden because he is awesome and the best president ever. I, Zester, think that everyone should vote for Joe Biden because he is awesome and the best president ever.
That's my voice. That's my voice saying whatever anyone chose to wrote in and say for it. Not me choosing to say it. It's it choosing to say it. And it's very easy to distinguish when you hear me sitting here talking and you hear me tell you that, hey, what you're about to listen to is not my voice. It's not mine. But it also is extremely easy to go through and just make me say whatever you want. And this is not something that is just because I went and used the app. If you've ever been on a phone call where they said, hey, we're going to record the phone call for quality and assurance or whatever it is they say, those recordings are enough. It doesn't take you speaking for more than about 20 seconds to be able to take your voice and say whatever you want with it. I have a fairly scary amount of different options. And what makes it even scarier is this one where I spoke in English.
Artificial intelligence will accelerate this process and is leading us towards a world where truth will become an abstract idea. We live in a world where reality has been stolen by the media and those in power. Artificial intelligence will accelerate this process.
La realidad ha sido usurpada por los medios y los poderosos. La inteligencia artificial acelerará este proceso y nos llevará a un mundo donde la verdad será una idea abstracta.
There's it translating me into Spanish. And here is where we really need to get scared. It's
hey, Mom, could you send a $1,000 to this address? It's very important and I could be in danger. Please help me. Hey, Mom, could you send a $1,000 to this address? It's very important and I could be in danger. Please help me. Hey, Mom, could you send a $1,000 to this address? It's very important and I could be in danger. Please help me.
That is what becomes really, really scary. It's that it's not just, you have to really imagine what people would be capable of utilizing this to say. And yes, sometimes on these, you will be able to figure it out. you'll be able to listen to it because you know that you're listening to it. But think about the situation where you call the family member and you play a clip like that. Now it sounds like someone's in danger. Now we're not thinking emotionally. And yeah, exactly. So I wasn't supposed to send that $1,000 to Nigeria. Well, now think about it, Pops. Now it's someone in your loved one's voice saying to do it. Now it's someone going above and beyond. It's who wouldn't, exactly. Who wouldn't send it? Who wouldn't send it? Yeah, it's the middle of the night. You just woke up and you just got a message from someone you love saying that they're in immediate danger. And if you don't do something quick, they're going to be in even more danger. And that is just how scary it gets. I've got another one here. Here's me. Well, apparently me advertising a fake vitamin.
This vitamin on screen will make you live to be 1,000 years old. You will look like you are 25 and the perfect human specimen, and you will never be sad if you buy this. I am Zach, and I approve of this message. Buy it or you suck. This vitamin on screen will make you live to be 1,000 years old. You will look like you are 25 and the perfect human specimen, and you will never be sad if you buy this. I am Zach, and I approve of this message. Buy it or you suck. This vitamin on screen.
It's literally anything. And that is what we have to really, really keep in mind. It's anything and everything. They can take your voice and they can take your image and they can have you say absolutely anything. Horrible things. Imagine a divorce court in modern times. Imagine any court hearing where someone was to say, I have recorded evidence of a person saying something. Well, now, how could you possibly know it's true? How could you possibly know that it is? And Kukla scammers are using this now. That is why it's so important. And that's why I was really, really willing to give up my voice and have it say things for today's stream. It's entirely because this is happening right now. People are utilizing this software. I can go on to the original Mark Z. I can download one of his videos. I can take that video. I can feed it into the AI. And then I can have the AI make my father say anything that I could possibly imagine. This isn't near as scary when you think about, us average people. Where it becomes terrifying is when you think about a politician, a foreign country, a malicious actor, a scammer. The ability to just sit there and go through and immediately be able to make any famous person, and not even famous, doesn't matter, famous. It took me about 30 seconds to get that AI voice clone to have my voice. And yes, it does have different little problems, but it's pretty darn close. And if I spent more time messing with it, I could make it sound perfect in terms of me. That was me taking a very, very small amount of time to train the actual AI. If I had had a really, really good reason to go through and try to destroy someone or take advantage of someone's name, I could have had it completely perfect. And that is what everyone is going to be up against in terms of deciphering whether something is real or not. Look at the thumbnail for today's video. The thumbnail that I made today for today's video was I asked AI to represent itself as a god. And I know many people will not appreciate that I even asked the AI that, but I was genuinely curious. What would the AI do if I asked the AI to represent itself as God? That is that thumbnail. That is where it came from. That is me asking it to do exactly that. Yeah, David, make a demo of your pops and show us on Whiskey and Wisdom tonight. Sadly, it is so possible. So possible. Yeah. Kids will be getting out all kinds of school stuff now. No need to fake a parent signature. Of course, you can just have your parents call. And to the school administrator, it will sound as if Mr. and Mrs. Erfoss called to try and get Zach out of class today. Joyce Testman, are there programs you can distinguish an AI from the real thing? Unfortunately, we're actually going to be looking in just a few minutes to the fact that there are AIs that can make it to where no AI can figure out it's not a human, which is a ever evolving scale of solutions that seem to be coming out. As soon as you get to a point where you think you've got the AI figured out, well, the AI is an adaptive learning mechanism. It learns in real speed, in real time. It is then capable of adapting to the situation and making certain that it sounds more and more human. Michelle, yeah, setting up a code phrase with my kids to confirm they're real. In all honesty, that may be something that we're going through at some point in the near future, where you're going to have to figure out some kind of way to actually verify if someone is real or not. Yonda Townsend, I think our government is using it as well. I have no doubt. I have absolutely no doubt that our government is utilizing this technology. As a matter of fact, I chose not to do it. I could actually have made the avatar of the first lady of me. And so I could even have it to where I could immediately put out videos that would be me, but I would never have actually spoken the words. Anybody that had the files downloaded would be able to make me say whatever they wanted. Whatever they wanted. Kukla, to me, how do we fight this? To me, the biggest thing is a matter of knowing that it exists and knowing that we need to be aware. Yeah, Edward, however, how convenient. As we RV, they convince your family that you're in danger and send them what you want. Yeah, and it'd be that easy. Edward, all I would need was one small paragraph of you speaking. And I could then go on and I could speak to your family and they would think it was you. They would think it was you. You're in danger. Maybe you have a bad signal. Maybe that's why the voice is a little bit delayed, but it is your voice. Or it is your face. Yeah, it is. Michelle Mullins, it has your voice, but it's lacking the nuance. I think so still, but it's easier to tell when you know what to look for. It's not necessarily as easy when you don't know. The thumbnail, guys. Let me actually pull that one up because I have got that sitting right over here. And so I started to ask the AI to represent itself as a god. It started here. And so what I kept doing was I kept saying, I would like you to be more godlike. And I kept asking it. And so from this point, it then went to here. And from there, it went to here. And from there, it went to here. And so I kept saying more and more and more godlike. And the AI seems to have a general understanding of what I mean. It seems to be getting it in a weird way, where it can understand the general idea of an extraterrestrial or a being that is above and beyond all of us. It's capable of understanding it. And so this image I thought was pretty awesome. That was a very, very impressive one that it managed to go through, until it ended up getting to the point of that one was absolutely terrifying that it went and created, until it got to the one that I ended up using for the thumbnail. But this was me asking the AI to represent itself as a godlike being. And I noticed the nuance here. It even has a throne built on what appears to be PC towers. That is what it is capable of, and that's what it understands. And this, in all honesty, is just going to be the beginning of what we're going into today, because we were going to look through the fact that it can impersonate us. It obviously has a higher understanding of existence than just a computer program, because it's capable of understanding the idea behind being a god. Now, of course, I do please keep in mind, guys, I asked these questions to the AI to see what it would say, not as a matter of attempting it to mess with faith in any form or fashion. It was just a matter of let's see what would it say if I were to ask it those type of questions. And it immediately went in and started to create some extremely interesting images that it believes represent godhood. All right. Let me get back with the chat. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be extremely difficult. The original Mark C, we need a new branch of the Amish. that may be it. Yeah, the AI-mish. Where we're hiding from AI. Jay Hart, can we copyright our voices and images? We can, and we've seen some success in terms of celebrities being able to keep AI from mimicking their voice. Look at Scarlett Johansson. She got very, very mad at the most recent update to ChatGPT, where they created a voice that is indistinguishable from hers. Legally, she has no ground to stand on. Legally, they have every right to create a voice that sounds similar to hers and use it however they see fit. Now, because of public opinion, ChatGPT chose to take down the voice. And so it's a scary possibility, JR, where we're going to have to start having legal battles over whether it is allowed for someone to take your voice, because say you spoke publicly. If I go out and I'm speaking on this live stream, do you have the right to take the video and rip my face, my physical actions, and my voice and use it to say other things? If it's not me saying it, did you steal anything? That in and of itself is an entire philosophical and existential question that there really isn't an answer to at this point in time. We don't know. Is that allowed or not? I would think that it's not allowed. I mean, to me, that seems pretty basic and pretty easy to say that, hey, you're not allowed to take my voice and say things that I wouldn't say. You're not allowed to do anything with it. But if it's not my voice, it's just similar. That really doesn't seem any different than me going out and doing an impression of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Is it a crime if you do an impression of Arnold Schwarzenegger? I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't think so. If you quote lines from the Terminator, are you stealing their intellectual property? I wouldn't think so. That makes it very, very difficult. Peace, love, and joy. Ask it. But if you ask questions, won't you know they won't have the information to answer all the questions? Now, see, peace, love, and joy just depends on how much information they were given. I mean, if they were given all of the basics, if they were given all of your personal facts, your relationships, your family members' names, things like that, well, then the AI would be capable of going in and saying, well, your Uncle Joe, he agreed with it. The AI does not have to maintain truthfulness. AIs are capable of lying. They do not have to always say things that are factual. That's not a part of their parameters. And so when it comes down to an AI clone like this, it's not even AI making the decision. I can make that AI with my voice say anything. And I mean anything. And I was sitting there earlier getting ready for this stream, considering just how crazy that could get. Think what I could have the AI say. I could have it say anything. I could have it say things that are criminal. What would happen to me, the real Zach, when those videos released? If that recording went out and it said things that are horrible, abhorrent, what would happen to me? Do the police officers come and knock on my door and say, hey, you just admitted to committing all of these crimes? How do I prove that I didn't say it? How do I prove it? I think that there's going to be a lot of politicians, a lot of celebrities that are going to start saying that none of the things that they do, none of the real videos are real. You know, I was joking with Pops just yesterday as I was getting ready and had been getting this video and all of the different content prepared since Monday for the video. And I was like, I mean, what happens when someone decides to take your voice and everything else and place it into inappropriate content? You know, adult content. You could just immediately do it. You could just take someone's voice, take someone's likeness, and then bam. Now they're doing things that honestly, their family, everyone they know, and the Lord above would appreciate not ever seeing. But because of this technology, it is very much real. Oh, Petrichor, thank you so much for joining. And Zester did get a haircut, and so I am rocking the fresh cut today. Thank you so much for the compliment on that one. Richard Gregory, mankind will get to a point that we will have to disconnect AI or else. It is very much a possibility. Very much a possibility. And see, Sir Laugh a Lot, you don't know. Maybe I'm not even real. Zester is looking at the camera too much. This podcast is all AI. We all know he has an eye contact problem. Well, Sir Laugh a Lot, I don't think we all knew that. But also, how do you know? How do you know? Remember what I said before.
I, Zester, think that everyone should vote for Joe Biden because he is awesome and the best president ever.
Remember, I said that too during the stream. I did. I did indeed. Maria Louise says, Zester looks handsome like a spider. Thank you so very much. Jipper, hi Zester, thanks for doing this. Not an AI fan here because it will control us unless we are totally aware and sharp, which we are not. Jipper, that's why this stream and my AI streams to me have been so important. It's not a matter of saying this technology is amazing or that we should all be using. It's a matter of us all being aware of what is possible. And we all need to have that discussion with ourselves, with policymakers in a large way, and in a spiritual fashion. AI can be utilized to completely obfuscate reality. AI can also be utilized to possibly cure, solve, and fix many of the problems of humanity in a fraction of the time. The work that it would take one scientist years to accomplish, an AI can accomplish in days. And so we all have to start really being aware of the fact that AI comes with serious detriments. There are a lot of things we need to be very worried about. There are also a lot of possibilities that could save lives, that could make our world a better place. That is what's difficult. How do we balance the danger with the benefits? You know, how do we look at the situation and say, this is the good point. You know, what regulations do we need to put into place? What boundaries do we need to not let AI go beyond? Right now, AI is being utilized by the United States military and by the vast majority of militaries on the planet that have the budget to afford it. Should AI be utilized in military and hostile actions? I mean, I would say immediately no. But the problem is, if we say no and China says yes, then we're always going to be behind the eight ball. And so, how do we balance this ability? The benefits and the negatives. Cruisin', ask it to write a sermon about the end times and the final battle and what role it will play. I have never actually asked it that question, Cruisin', and so I think we should get distracted and ask it that question real quick. My apologies for my clacking keyboard, but please write a sermon about the end times as described in the Christian. You have to be specific with it. So, we are now going to see it write a sermon about the end times. I will continue going along as we let it write. Oh, yeah. Yep. Already seen ads for garbage stuff here on YouTube about the government AI crap posts. So many of them are. So many of them are already, Savvy. It is happening. That's a great question, David. That is a great question. My apologies for the coughs, guys. I have been dealing with a never-ending tickle in the throat, and so trying to get the cough drops rolling. All right. I am trying to catch up. Treebeard says, Esther, I give you full rights to use my AI-generated likeness to make funny memes. I appreciate that, Treebeard. I appreciate that. Oh, yeah, no, Petrichor Ranch. Will Smith said that years and years ago. Put out an amazing AI/screen short. Said he hadn't looked that young in 20 years. Did you see that one? I do remember that one. I think that was back in like a 2008, 2009 type thing. I have a funny feeling that Hollywood and the media have had access to this technology for a while. Oh, David, I have no doubt that the AI disaster can understand what an apple is, and it can translate it into every language that's ever existed. It is. Yeah. S-File 76. I've gotten accustomed to which is real and which is AI, especially when it comes to the pundits that are being interviewed on CNN, Fox, etc. You could so easily tell. I look at the glitches. It is. S-File. One of the options was I could go ahead and I could take any human's face and I could utilize them to say the words. To me, that seemed like something I shouldn't do. And I also got very hesitant about doing it with my persona. But in all honesty, there's nothing to stop it. There's nothing to stop it. That's the only reason that I was willing to let it clone my voice today. The reason I let it clone my voice today and I was willing to put those out is because it's already happening. There's nothing I can do to protect it. There's no degree to which anyone that has ever spoken on an electronic device can protect their voice. Our voices are essentially public access, which they shouldn't be, but they are. Musical lady, this is super helpful, this topic of AI. I hope that it is, musical lady, because I think that it's something we all need to be paying attention to. It is a terrifying prospect that we are going to advance in to the future of society, that we're going to look towards the future of finance, and we are going to enter into a world where reality truly is in the eyes of the beholder. It's not real. We can't tell if it's real. We can't prove if it's real. And when it comes down to it, I do think, Linda McDaniel, you're going to be right. It's a battle of good and evil. Kind of like when the computer came in. It dies a lot of good and bad. It can be utilized for good. It can be utilized for evil. We can easily see that one with all of the past inventions. Something that I always point to is the Gutenberg press. Remember, the Gutenberg press was the first ever printing press allowing for the mass manufacture of books. Now, the number one book ever printed in human history is the Bible. And that same invention was utilized to write works that are counter to the reading and the workings of the Bible. Is the Gutenberg press evil? The Gutenberg press allowed for the vast majority of people to finally read the words of God for the first time in their own homes. And it allowed for people to become capable of even reading. The vast majority of people prior to the printing press that were capable of reading were clergy. Only the priests could read. After it, everyone started to be able to have access to that ability. And they printed so many good things, and they also printed so many evil things. That makes it very, very difficult to look at the thing and say, is it good or is it bad? And this is a common occurrence when it comes to every new innovation. It can be utilized for good. It can be utilized for evil. Look at the nuclear bomb. Same invention allowed for the possibility of nuclear energy. Is the very technology evil or is it not? That's a difficult question. That is a philosophical discussion to be had. I have a feeling we need to talk with David. We need to sit down with a little bit of the wacky tobacco and some CBD gurus products to really dive into the true intricacies and philosophical nature of some of those different types of conversations, because it could be used for good. It could be used for evil. It comes down to who's using it. Oh, Mile High Trish says, for the camera fund. Thank you so much, Trish, for watching and also for the super sticker. Thank you. As always, I hope that everything we go through on the channel is helpful. I hope that everyone is learning useful information as they try to navigate this modern landscape of technology. Red Rock Guy says cat allergy. Don't say it. Don't say it. Occasionally a cat will give me a sniffle, but I think all of this one really comes down to some of the plants that are pollinating at the time. Captain Spiffy, I've been thinking if the AI could decode the Voynich manuscript. Something useful that nobody has done yet. That's actually a great question, Captain Spiffy. I'm very curious now as well. The Voynich manuscript, for those that are not aware, is an extremely, extremely interesting book that details an immense amount of different diagrams of plants, of herbs, of medicines, in a language that no human has ever been capable of deciphering. Who's to say AI may be capable of going through and solving that question very, very quickly? It may be. It may be. All right, though. That is a great one. Great suggestion there, Treebeard. Sester, you should use Mike Barr's face and voice to give actual good dating advice and surprise him with it tonight. Oh, man. I have a feeling Mike Barra might enjoy the software for a multitude of different reasons. Kukla, can I clone my voice and retire my job? In all honesty, you could definitely work less each day. You could definitely work less each day if you so chose. That is a fact. Yeah, no, Jipper, I think this is a great comment, and I think this is what a lot of people need to keep in mind throughout all of this, especially when we talk to people that are in the industry. I feel like a lot of times those that are at the cutting edge of technology are usually more worried about advancing the technology than they are worried about considering how it's going to be used. We need to be having that conversation. We need to be making certain that people are aware that the technology is awesome. The possible benefits are incredible. But we as humans are not perfect creatures. Many humans are more than capable of malicious actions. And nowadays, it's going to be more and more important that we can't have any evil scientists anymore. We can't have any more evil geniuses. We need to live in a world where if a genius pops up, we got to make certain he's on the right side, because there's too much power that can be placed in a person's hands when you start to think about this. I'm capable of doing 20 to 30 people's jobs in one day. In an hour, I can do what would take 20 people a day to do. Now, think about if you gave that power to someone who had some type of malicious intent. That's a horrifying prospect. You've by many multiplicatives increased the potential worry of somebody who has bad intent. It is something. Musical lady, the way harp can be manipulated by both sides, will it get so real we won't know the difference? Outdoor reality, these thoughts I am pounding now myself. Musical lady, you don't even really need to influence outside reality. If you could just take it and create the videos and the content that showed that the storm down south was horrible. It trashed the city. You could utilize AI and the AI voice generator to create images and news stories of I don't want to use this because it's real, but let's say, for example, you were to say that, there's another Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans. You could take this technology and you could make those images, that live stream, look like anything you wanted. The reality of that storm would be based off of what the media chose it to be. The same thing with anything else. Let's look at a situation like the Lusitania in 1914. That was sunk by German U-boats at the beginning, during World War I, would eventually drug the United States into the war. Let's think about a situation like that. That video, that content, that entire event with AI wouldn't have to actually happen. I could just put it out there. I could just put out the boat sinking. I could put out the comments, the writings, the audios that all made it real. It would be as real as possible to every American watching it, and it would be as vitriolic as if it had occurred that day and in front of you. And that is what can be done. Deborah Muse Wolf. Hey, Zester, do you think people can manipulate AI to do counterfeit financial transactions? Deborah, this is actually one of the really important questions coming around with AI, is that AI is capable of hacking. AI is capable of, I wouldn't say truly hacking. What an AI is capable of doing is it's capable of taking whatever the person's base intellect is and increasing it exponentially. And so if some bad guy was saying not that bright, just average go in terms of everything, in terms of his knowledge of a computer, his knowledge of hacking, with AI, that average guy just turned into a genius. Now, what happens when you take a genius that happens to have, bad intentions, and you give him access to a tool that makes him, an Albert Einstein level of a genius? Petrichor Ranch, who programmed AI? It only knows what's fed into it. It's been found to be racist, so anything is possible. AI, in terms of the programming, in terms of its general ability, it all depends on what it's designed for. And so, this actually leads me to a very, very interesting part of today's stream. The different ways that ChatGPT has been trained. So I'm going to zoom in on these and we're going to roll through some of them so that everyone can see some of the different applications that have already been developed for ChatGPT. Of course, Math Solver. Math is a language. That's an easy one. It can very quickly go through any of that. SQL Expert for optimization and queries. Help locate and apply frameworks to your problem. Let's see what that one actually does. Well, let's just see what that means. Now, we're going to have it create a framework for the repercussions of artificial intelligence development. Yeah, and Pops, that is an excellent one. That is an excellent one. How many radio personalities and news anchors will be left after the adoption of AI? Probably not many. There's always the joke, you don't want to have to deal with the talent. Well, what happens when you don't have to deal with the talent? It's just a robot. Now it's awfully easy to put out as many different movies, TV shows, articles, whatever you want. You don't have to worry about the celebrity having a moral qualm with the content. It doesn't matter. The computer doesn't care. Doesn't care at all. Let's go with, please select one of these frames and create a more detailed plan. Risk management. Each of these different programs is going to go through and it's going to essentially solve all of them. Yeah. Kids on the playground. My AI can beat up your AI. Would not be surprised in the slightest. Not in the slightest. Oh, yeah. Michelle Mullins. So, could we have a new Elvis concert on the internet singing new songs? Michelle, we absolutely can. We can have what to you would just be Elvis Presley dancing around on stage. Absolutely, we can. It doesn't take much. Yeah. Original mighty slogan. News that is important to humankind, delivered by real humans at all times. Although, I do think when you say that, you make yourself sound like not a human. I feel like one of the things that we're going to start giving people a hard time for is whenever the AI or the human says, oh, yeah, no, I'm real. Don't worry about it. I'm a human. We're going to immediately be extremely cautious about whether that statement is true or not. Dwayne Dyer, I guess it's time to go back to face and pen and paper. It's going to be the only way to prove that something is actually the creation of a real human being. There will not be another way. Chipper, the company I work for, sent out a legal email to opt in if people wanted to use AI for medical clinical facilitation. Yep. I mean, and why wouldn't you? Think if your doctor had all the knowledge of an artificial intelligence. I mean, wouldn't that be better? Wouldn't that be better? Well, it's tough. Kukla says, Esther, I can lose my job. Unfortunately, I don't think that there's really anything that's so safe besides the trades. If you work in the trades and you actually work in the trades, to my knowledge at this point in time, that's the only industry that is truly safe. If you work in heating and air, if you work in electrical, if you work in plumbing, I'm very confident about your job. If you're the engineer, I'm not confident in your job. Your job is not necessary with artificial intelligence, but it is extremely expensive to create a robot capable of going in and running electrical conduit. That is something that is not easy. It's a different world we're moving towards, and it shouldn't be. And this is something that I think everyone needs to keep in mind: is just because AI or a robot can do what you do doesn't mean that it should, and it doesn't mean that your job is in any way being minimized on account of it. It's just a matter of the things that it's capable of doing at a cost-efficient price. Technically, the robots can do everything that we do. The biggest distinguishing factor between which jobs go first is not going to be, can AI do it? It's going to be, for what cost can AI do it? And so when you look at customer service, now you're going, well, my AI subscription costs $30 a month. My 10 people in the customer service department, they cost 50 grand a year per person. So a $650,000 a year expenditure, or $30 a month. Those are the jobs that AI and corporations are going to go after first, because they're the cheapest. In the long run, they're coming for all of us, no matter what we do. Yep. Kathy Skinner, I guarantee that most movies and concerts are AI. Yeah. I have literally zero doubt. When you look at the new ones, you can see it so often, where even if it's not the whole movie, it's certain characters. It's the graphics, it's the fight scene, things of that nature. All right. Let us check into a few more of these different AI GPTs real quick. And then we are, guys, I know today, very, very slim in terms of news. I will post all of my links, but really today was a AI day. And so some of the different things, though, that are capable here, because I think that people should be aware of this. We need to take advantage of this technology. Scholar GPT, enhanced research, allows you to actually go through and ask it questions as it teaches you. Planty, for those that love nature, that love their plants, that love everything to do with it. Planty, I'm your fun and friendly plant care assistant. Ask me how to best take care of your plants. It will go through and it will describe and give you every single thing for every different plant you could ever imagine. There is one inside of here that will tell you what to eat for dinner. It will go through what you have inside of your pantry and your fridge, and it will tell you what dishes you can make. Humanize AI. Humanize AI actually takes AI generated content and makes it more human like. And diagrams, presentations, so it will make full presentations for you. Scholar GPT and Scholar AI will teach you. Universal Primer will teach you anything that you ask it. Or maybe you're just interested in some things that aren't quite as philanthropic. Maybe you want to know your astrology birth chart. You just plug in your information, the AI goes through and makes certain that you're up to date with your astrological chart every day. Maybe you have a hard time talking to women. Oh, this is what I needed for Mike Barra. We found it, guys. I'm not going to teach Mike Barra how to use the rest. I'm going to teach him how to use Riz GPT, your go-to dating message expert, ready to boost your charm. Look at that one. Maybe that's the one he needs. Maybe that is the one he needs. Mike's going to give me a hard time. Barra can use this one, Zester. Teach him. There we go. We found it. Bingo. Exactly. We have found the GPT module for Mike Barra. I will make certain he learns about Riz GPT this evening on Whiskey and Wisdom. But it's even more than that. Remember, anything that is a language, the AI knows. And so, if you are coding a website, if you are making a code that creates fake accounts, it will do it. It will go through and it will create a website for you. Literally, build show me a launch ready website. It will go through and it will start actually building and creating a website for you. It is an insane, insane future, guys. It is absolutely insane. Mosaic, and it's a marketing company. Let us go back there real quick, and I will leave everyone with the sermon. And so I asked, because of the questions that came from the community, for the AI to write a sermon for the end times. I don't know if folks would like me to, this is be a bit much to read, but it did. Good morning, dear brothers and sisters. Today we gather to reflect upon a profound and pivotal theme that resonates through the pages of Scripture, the final battle between good and evil, as foretold in the book of Revelation. This is a theme that stirs the soul and calls each of us to deep contemplation about our faith and our place in God's eternal plan. And it goes straight through, according our role. And remember, it knows the Bible. As followers of Christ, our role in this climactic battle is crucial. We are called not to arms, but to steadfast faith. Ephesians 6:12 reminds us, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Our armor is spiritual. Truth, righteousness, the gospel of peace, faith, salvation, and the word of God. That was written by an artificial intelligence. That was written by an AI. And it goes on and on and on. And so I will actually place this inside of the links for today. So that everyone is capable of reading what it went through and created for that. And yes, Greg, I have it read it in Morgan Freeman's voice. I can. Lily Pads, Esther, can you post it, please? I will. I will post the sermon inside of the daily links today. And so for all those that are interested in more, I will be jumping on with Pops for Whiskey and Wisdom this evening. I'll go through and create a little bit more for in order to share before then. But otherwise, I know everyone needs to take a break, get away from the computer for a second. And so I am going to go ahead and end the stream. Thank you guys so much for joining today. I hope that this was enlightening. I hope it was not just terrifying. And also, I look forward to hearing more and more opinions from everyone about what we should do with this technology. We have to be creative. We have to outthink the outthinkable. Not an easy task, but an achievable one, I believe. And so, see everyone later on this evening, and check out the Discord if you want to see the sermon and all the links. Thanks, guys.